Oh, so welcome to the Champions Podcast. This is going to be another fun episode because I can't stop laughing. Anyway, welcome to Champions Podcast with myself, Champ Squires, and
Heather McCoy.
and today it's going to be just us. We're going to talk about kind of the summer, what summer has looked like, what the plans have been, where we've been, what we've been doing. I know Heather's been involved in a lot of kind of just doctor's appointments with the post um, kidney transplant and seeing how things are going. And luckily, everything, thanks be to God, seems to be going really, really well. I'm grateful for that. And then Heather's going to ask some questions of me in just a little bit about what I've been up to. Today we're going to talk about kind of what I've been up to, what she's been up to, and then Heather's got some questions to me about that and about some of the summer plans. And as I talk about summer plans with the way schools are now, it feels like it's weird talking about summer plans because when I get back from camp on the 19th, we will be I will be up rolling for school to start back on the 20th, 24th, 25th of August. So it's just a weird schedule. Once I feel like I'm getting one thing done, another thing comes up. So that's just such is life. So
Yeah, and it's been a fun summer, especially for me already, because now I'm renewed with a new kidney, and obviously I still have cystic fibrosis, still had the lung transplants, but praise be to God, everything, as Champ said, has been going smoothly, and I could not be more grateful. And it's not just big things, it's just appreciating getting up in the morning and being able to have a normal day for my normal, being able to exercise again and eat right and just to feel that strength and everything again is just indescribable. So I'm really grateful for that, and been swimming every day doing my laps. And Champ's got something coming up that he always does that I'm going to let him talk about, because I personally have never been, but I know several people that have, and it just really touches them. And it's something that they still talk about today that they got to participate in. So I'm going to let him tell you what he's going to be doing here soon.
it's a ministry called Salk Summer Service. It originally was kind of a part of the United Methodist Church, but it is more recently kind of outside of those walls. It's sort of like it kind of compared a little bit to a Habitat for Humanity, but it's not like that. It was started by the Reverend John Culp, and he was serving Hampton United Methodist Church, um, and he had or serving the Hampton community, and he had three small African American children that were burned up in a fire and was asked to participate in their service. And after seeing that, I think that just really impacted him on a deep level and on a profound level. And so just seeing some of the poverty in the Hampton, Barnville, Allendale areas of South Carolina, um, just really impacted him. And he saw it, he saw the need, and he kind of saw where he could kind of step in, not as a savior. I want to be very clear, but just as a worker, as a steward, as I would say. And so that's kind of where it started, and so it's kind of transpired from there. I'm trying to remember, and I know this uh, but I can't think of it on the top of my head. I want to say 40 years, maybe a little bit lower. I'll put some of the precursors about the history of it, and one actually an extra link to another video, kind of a documentary that we have done about Salk. I'll put those in the comments or I'll have Heather put those in the comments as well. And that just tells a little bit deeper story about Salkhatchee. So I started in 2010, 2011. The church that Heather and I grew up in, the youth had always kind of been, or for a while, had always been a part of that. I know Heather's cousin went before I did, had been doing it for a couple years before me. And because there's a lot of physical, or at the time, there's a lot of physical labor. So you're either painting a house or working on some underpinning, or sometimes there might be some electrical. Just depends on what the needs are. And so, with me having a physical disability and physical limitations, mom was like, yeah. And I was never really approached. And our youth leader at the time was Steve and Mary Wynn Hudson. And they kind of came to mom and said, hey, we'd really like for Champ to experience this you know, kind of I'll take on the responsibility, but I really think he would enjoy it. And I'm so grateful that the people that I grew up with never really saw me as kind of having those physical limitations. They kind of just said, go for it. And so I did, and I want to say this is like 18th or maybe 19th or 20th year. Um, of doing it and being a part of it. And so I love it. I've gone from doing kind of the site side of things where you're doing the painting or you're doing some of the repairs or helping with some of the repairs to now I do some leadership stuff as far as spiritual leadership. So I go around every day to all the home sites. They're broken up into home sites. So we'll have 6 sites this year, and probably I would say 12 folks on a site. Sometimes there might just on one of our sites, I know there will be just adults, young adults, and then some will have young adults or adults and teenagers. And so it just depends on the needs of that particular situation. And so I will go around and kind of give a devotion every day about where we are, and we'll have a theme, and they'll get a snack from me and different things like that. And then we'll do worship every night. We'll do a devotion in the morning as well. And then different churches will feed us during the week. So that's always a joy. And like I said, I've been doing this for almost 20 years and in the Hampton area. Now, there are several camps all throughout the state of South Carolina. We just finished one here in Bishopville and in Lee County, and so I wasn't really a part of that, but I got to do a popsicle run for them one day in the heat, so that was fun. And then Sumter just had one in the first week of June, so it kind of goes from like the first week of June all the way to the last week in July or the first week in August. It's always hot. And I don't know, such a great
Hot,
experience. What, ma'am?
super hot, and it's
Uh,
humid because it's South Carolina. So I know somebody that may be in a different state or think, oh, it's just normal summer heat. You have to picture that they're out there doing physical labor, usually in poverty areas.
Mhm.
And so all I have ever heard is that it is super, super, super hot, but they still enjoy it.
You do. And, I actually, it's funny because I've never really shared it from just from my perspective, but one of my best friends in the entire world came out of that experience. Chris Baudet, so it's funny, when he started coming in 2013, he and I got put on a site together. He was also from Sumter. We had never met and they didn't know each other, and got connected that week in 2013, and the rest. has been history. I could go on and on just about what the Lord has done through that one week, and then kind of sporadically all through the life up until this point. Um, it can't be. It's one of those things that I can't really describe. Just watching not only my own heart be opened up to the Lord, but also watching other people come, not only maybe come to know the Lord, but just to see a little bit of life, to see a little bit of hope. I will tell you that all of our campers and adults, they pay 250 to come and be a part of that week. All of that money goes back into the repairs and different things. And so just that is like Chris and I were talking about it because he is actually the assistant camp director for the Hampton Salkahatchee, and we were talking about that's just our little space of heaven on earth for a week. I mean, it's hot, it's dirty, it's gross, it's kind of aggravating at times, but it is so worth the joy. Um, I'm going to go back to a thing that I talked about in a previous episode about um, Joshua and the 12 stones. It's kind of that moment for me. Like I can always go back to that moment and that chapel and that space at Camp Christian and say, this is where I met the Lord in this moment. This is where I surrendered this. And I don't know. Like I hear people talk about how much it means to them, and I mean, I've talked about it, I've shared about it, but I've never shared about it in this way. And even as I'm doing it now, I feel myself just getting excited, and I know other people can hear it and see it because it's heaven on earth, and it's so refreshing not only to hear it and to do it, but to see the life change that happens even in our homeowners. Like these people, we come down on a Saturday, um, and when we get there, when all the camp gets there, all 80 to 100 of us do kind of like a processional to all 6 homes. We go and look at the homes. The campers and the kids, students are allowed to go and walk through the home and choose which one they would like to work on, and so these people are opening their doors to people they don't ever know. They've never met. They may never see again on this side of glory. And but not all 80 of them are working on their particular home, but they'll meet like the 12 of those 80 starting on Monday every day from like 7 to 5 every day. And just knowing that they can trust somebody, that they can be seen and heard and touched and encountered. Um, some of these people are just desperate for that.
And a lot of them would never be able to accomplish and stuff, especially financially. And it's incredible to see the pictures. And I've know several people that obviously have attended, and because of so much physical stuff and the germ aspect, that was just something that was always ruled out for me anyway, and the heat element. But even if it's not Salkahatchee, even if it's something in your local community that you don't have to, I call it a mission trip. You don't have to go on those to feel the Lord, but it is really special to be able to see these people that have been impacted by going and that go again. I mean, most people that go end up going.
Again and again and again. And people ask me all the time as I get older, do I feel the effects of it? Absolutely. But the effects are so unworth, or they don't compare to the when I get back on. So if I was to do a picture, and I might just do this just for the head fun of it, if I was to do the picture from like when I leave on this coming Saturday to when I come back next Saturday, I will be exhausted mentally, physically, and emotionally. But it's so worth it. It's so because and this is going to sound crazy, but I really believe this is where the Lord meets people. Here's what he does. He breaks us down. Okay? He breaks us down from, I feel good, I'm healthy, I'm not tired, I'm like energetic, let's go. And then by the end of that week, it's like, I ain't got nothing. If I could go fall and lay down on a bed and go to sleep, that would be fantastic. I don't have anything. And you're like, well, that's just brutal. That's like um detriment. That's self. No, it's where you find where your weakness and God's strength begin to meet. And when that happens, it's like, oh my goodness. And like I said, I have Chris, the one I was talking about, he talks about it all the time. All the time. He talks about it the way that I think I talk about boy state all the time. And it's funny to me because now, talking to you, Heather, about it, I just feel myself going, there's so much more. There's this, there's this. And it's not like they are totally different in what they do and how they interact and how they have affected me. But but I know what it does, not just for me, but for other people. And so
I just
I
imagine the people that y'all go and do the houses for just sitting, months, maybe even years in advance praying. You know, I know that the repairs and stuff that y'all do is, all kinds of stuff. And I just imagine them sitting there just praying that somehow, some way, the Lord will lead someone to be able to help them do whatever it is, and to think that when they get that call that they've been accepted. I don't know the process, but I assume they have to
Yeah,
be.
so the process is a little bit like this. So they have to fill out an application of kind of sharing some of their personal needs and some of the where they find themselves. And then there we have to kind of go based on what the needs are in the community and like if we get like and we always get applications, so that's never really a problem, but just what the needs are and what we're capable of doing with the help that we get from the campers and the adults that keep coming back. I know some adults that have kind of stopped because it's just not that it's not important to them. They've got other things that they've had to pick up on or do in life and work in ministry. The youth leader that brought me is no longer a part of it, and I understand, why, but you have to have the help, and you got to have the manpower, and if you don't, you can't do certain things. So they do go through a process, and it's just really encouraging to see the just again the transformation. Um, to me, it's not even about the homeowner, or not. It is about the homeowner. Let me rephrase that. It's not about the repair. It's about the personhood. Um, whether it was us or somebody else, that repair can be done, but you and I can't affect somebody, or I can't affect a physical issue the way I can affect a person. Because I don't care who you are, and this is gonna probably turn some heads. Every single person on the face of the earth, every single one wants to know they've got somebody that listened to them at least once. They've got somebody that laid their hands on them and made them feel like somebody, like they weren't lepers. Um, and for some of these people, that's it. And even some of these teenagers now that come into this to be a part of this are like, what? maybe I just got told I was loved for the first time, or maybe I felt seen and heard. One of the things that I think that our leadership does so well is it's not about the work. It's not about like the hammering, the nails, the doing. It's about these kids and this homeowner and this personhood of either or both. Um, and I don't care if the work gets done or not. All I care about is this person seen? Is this person known? And do they, when they walk away, have they seen Jesus? Or do they still see the rest of the world? And if they still see the rest of the world, I've not done what I've set out to do. So
And I
wow, that just again, that just makes me get fired up just hearing myself talk about it. So there you go.
it is touching people. Even me recently, I'm writing my second book just about my kidney journey, and I never set out to be an author by any means, but that's where God's led me to be. And as I'm writing this, it's making me reflect on things of some people may never truly understand what you've been through, but being able to convey just how other people have impacted your life, I think is so important because everybody has a story, but sometimes, as you mentioned, it's being heard. It's knowing that someone took time out of their day to listen to you, to pray for you, to pray with you is just so impactful. And so I'm excited to hear the stories when you come back. And do y'all have like music that y'all do? Do y'all jam out to music?
Yeah, we do a lot of so we like I said, we do worship every night. We have kind of a group of folks that come together and put our worship together. And then every night we have like either a testimony or a game night or something like that. We do a foot washing service. I know that kind of creeps some people out, but it's so good. We do a burdens night, and there's just a lot of different things. I want to share this as I'm thinking about it. I can't help but remember my first year, um, oh 09, oh 10. I went, had no idea what I was getting myself into, and I think everybody else kind of looked at me like, wait a minute, these Sumter people brought this crazy crip who, I mean, and I wouldn't have called myself the crazy crip then. I'd been like, oh, hey, I'm just trying to figure this out. Please help. But like I got to know some of the people, and I would be willing to bet you to guarantee you that in the beginning, these people probably saw me and thought, what the heck is he doing here? And over the years, it's no longer been about the fact that Champ's coming. It's like, okay, all right, let's do it. And I just remember my first year, it was me and probably 12 others, and we were working on this home. This husband and wife had 7 children. Their youngest was, uh, I think, 12, and he had cerebral palsy as well. He was nonverbal. They had this long house, and they needed certain things done, and a new roof, and um, some of the kids actually got up and helped us do that. But I just remember thinking to myself, watching this kid or this older kid at the time have cerebral palsy, but not be able to move, be nonverbal, and to see the way this family just rallied around him and each other. And like one night we left them to finish the roof, and we didn't tell them what to do. We kind of left, and by the time we got back the next morning, they had already done it themselves. And we were like, huh, what? And I share that story because I remember on the last night we not only did we do a kind of a caravan on the day that we started, but we did one on the day that we ended. And I remember standing on their steps just weeping because I knew that I did something that probably most people did never do, especially in my circumstances. and that people accepted and received me, not based on the physical limitations, but they saw me as a human being. And that's what these people see all of us as. It's not the age, it's not the race, it's not all of that. It's just the personhood. And
And that's a motto anybody in life should have, is seeing people as human, and even if they have challenges, is seeing them beyond what they have to live with and see them as a person.
of the documentary, it's on YouTube. It's called On the Road to Salkahatchee. Um, I hope you're writing this down, Heather, because I won't remember. I'll find it. And also you can keep up with me through social media, through Facebook and Instagram next week. I'll be sharing some pictures and um, I'm just really excited. Um, Last year was my first official year in leadership completely, and it was interesting. It was a learning curve. It was a hard learning curve. And this year being my second, like I know what to do, what not to do. I mean, there's still gonna be challenges, but I'm so much freer this time. Just to be and to be champ and to be where the Lord wants me to be. And that's kind of what I'm praying. Like I'm in the season of life right now that's just Heather could tell you she's seen it for the last 4 weeks. It's just this is life. This is the greatest moment of my life.
Just just good to be alive and to be able to celebrate life, and I want it known too, like obviously I wouldn't be able to go somewhere like that, but you have to be able to find where you connect with Jesus. That may be writing, that may be going to church, that may be going to missions. It may just be volunteering in your local community, but as Champ speaks about this, all I can imagine is just knowing that all of those people are being the hands and feet of Jesus. And I think that's so important just to carry out in life. And the reason I asked you about music is because obviously I'm a musician, but one of my favorite albums right now is by Brandon Lake, his newest release, King of Hearts. I got the honor of being able to meet him,
Yeah, she did.
and he's such a nice person. And I'm actually going to finally get to go see his concert next May, so I'm excited about that. But that album is just incredible, and I encourage anybody to listen to that. And Phil Wickham's working on some new music, so I'm excited about that too. But that would probably be right now my favorite song. Probably would be I like
What what's the one about God can? Or the I am can, or I can't, you know exactly what I'm talking about, I think, but I can't think of what it.
Man.
And I just I can't believe you brought up Brandon Lake, but I every time I hear that song over the last 2 weeks, I've thought that's Salkahatchee because that's like when you think you got it and you realize, oh crud, I ain't got nothing, but the I am does. And the other thing that I would say about ministries like this, and I cannot remember which writer who said it, but it's where your desires and God's deepest needs and desires for you, they just kind of mesh. And when they mesh, it's like, let's go. I mean, literally, I just where is your passion and God's deepest desire for you? Where do they intertwine? Um, and that's what you got to do. And I'm telling you, when you are right smack dab in the center of God's will for your life and your heart, like you just go. and you are just, I mean,
And there's one song on that album of Brandon's that the lyric, I love it so much because it's saying that if it's not good, then he's not finished yet. And I know from my life that speaks so true, but so many other people's lives is there's always that hope that he's bringing you through something and it's a season, but you have to hang on and trust that he's not finished yet. And even when things don't go your way, he's still not finished yet. He still reigns, and we just have to continue to trust
the
and
other thing that I want to say about Brandon Lake, and there's one song that I was going to talk about for a minute. Lord, you got me on another tangent. Lord, help us and forgive us for the rabbit trails. But the daddy's DNA, Salkahatchee's in my DNA. Um, it's in my blood. It's it's life. It's I like Chris and I talk about all the time. Salkahatchee isn't just a week, it's a lifestyle. It's a choice we make. And what where is God calling you to be and what's in your DNA? What's in your daddy's DNA and Abba's DNA for you? And that's what you got to find. And I don't know where most folks that listen to this, and I don't know who all listens to this. Sometimes they might think we go on a lot of rabbit trails, but it's all about the DNA. And I'm so thankful that through my veins runs my daddy's DNA and my Abba, and he has been so good. And it's just in moments like Sakahachi when heaven meet earth. It's a glorious, glorious thing.
I even reflected today as I was out there doing my laps that God has been good to me. And I said, God has been good, but God still is good to me. And even though,
God is, God or God was, God is, and God will always be.
amen to that. And I hope that, people that listen to this, they may have something going on right now that they're frustrated about or discouraged about. And whether you're on a mission trip or whether you're going to church Sunday, whether you're not, whether you're just slowly walking with the Lord, I just want people to feel encouraged to not give up, to listen to God's calling, to listen to Him guiding you through each and every day and know that He's there even when you can't see Him. He's there and He's working behind the scenes. And it's just so good to know that we have a Savior that just loves us beyond measure. And just there's no words that can describe the amount of love he has for us. And I have a song coming out with my cousin that I wrote, that two songs actually, that I'm excited to share soon. And it's about going through difficulty and just hanging on to that hope and that hand of Jesus saying, I've got you, it's going to be okay. Just trust me. I love you, and I love you beyond measure. And so I'm excited for you to go to Salk and hear the stories. And my cousin doesn't go anymore because obviously she's in a different phase of life with jobs and all that kind of stuff. But it's really special because I know a bunch of the people that go now. There's a lot of the younger ones I don't know out there in the community now, but it's really special. And like I said, people don't have to go on a mission trip, but if they do, I guarantee they will be touched by it. And so we hope y'all enjoyed this episode and that you will check back with us next week. We upload a new episode every Friday, and we hope y'all have a blessed week and keep enjoying the summertime. And I
Summer heat.
know I'm going to.
Let the rain come. Let the rain come.
But no, we need to slow up that rain because it kind of takes away my swimming. So I can allow the rain, but just not
I need I need some rain because my yard looks dusty. Okay.
just such a little shower, champ. Okay.
little shower. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, God bless you all.
God bless you.